Today, I will be using a full team of Pokemon based on pride flags. If you have an idea for a Pokemon team, be sure to comment below and I will use it. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get right into the battles. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, lovely people. Today I am using another pride flag team. This is the 6th pride flag team now. Now, if you enjoy this content, feel free to like the video, and as always, if this video gets 25 likes, I will do a 7th pride flag team. I can't believe we're at this many pride flag teams already. So, leading things off here with my bigender. Now, the bigender flag was one that I kind of held off for a while, like the polyamory one in the last video. And the reason is because the bigender flag is really controversial, like the original creator. So I decided to use a variation of the bigender flag for this one. And I thought the shiny Drizzile matched it really well. Now, as always, I'm going to have all the sets of the Pokemon in the little box. And I also have an explanation as to what all of these genders are. And genders and identities. So, like, obviously, bigender is when you identify with 2 genders at once. So, this is a lead. Well, no, it's not a lead of a Drizzile. I'm just leading off with it. But it's a Focus Sash priority Drizzile. This Pokemon gets 4 priority moves. Actually, it gets 3. I have Aqua Jet, Sucker Punch, Ice Shard, and I have Fell Stinger on this with the Focus Sash. So in case I get a cheeky triple attack boost, I'm able to, get some good priority damage off on anything. Now, I'm gonna get taken out there by the Bullet Seed from this Breloom and into my Libra Femme flag for Iron Valiant. I thought it matched their colors really, really well, and you're gonna see the Libra Mask flag in a moment. So, I'm gonna take out the Breloom with the Moonblast. I'm running a Life Orb set on this. This team had some really interesting Pokemon on it. It had some good Pokemon and it had some really bad Pokemon. So I have Vacuum Wave on this set. Unfortunately, the Qianpao had the Focus Sash. I was like, oh no, I was hoping that it didn't have that item. So they're gonna take me out with the Psychic Fangs easily. So I was like, well shoot, that's bad, but at the very least I could revenge KO it with my own Qianpao, which for the Libra Mask flag. I have both the Libra Mask and the Libra Femme flag on this. This is a Choice Scarf Qianpao, so I'm going to be able to outspeed and take out the opposing Qianpao with the Crunch. Now, I want to give a huge special thank you to Yummy by Plutonium, amazing name, for the idea for the Libra Mask flag as Qianpao. I always appreciate anyone like lending me their pride flag suggestions, so if you have any other pride flags that I haven't done yet, then please comment them below. I'm always open to anything. So I get 2 back-to-back crits on the Dragonite, and I'm gonna be able to take it out with the Crunch. What a crazy KO. So the Kyogre is gonna come in. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, if this is Choice Scarf Water Spout, I want to get as much chip damage as I possibly can with this. I'm gonna soon regret this play though. So there goes my Qianpao to the Origin Pulse. I'm always scared of like Kyogre being like potentially Choice Scarf Water Spout with Terra Water, like, because that thing hits super hard. So I actually have a legendary of my own in Zekrom. This is a special Zekrom. So this is the Gender Void flag, which is such a unique identity. I really love looking at these new different identities and genders and everything. And the Gender Void flag is when you feel like your gender identity is nothing but like a void, right? Now into the Xenogender flag here for Cosmog. I'm using Cosmog, oh my goodness. So I thought that the colors matched Cosmog well. I was torn between Cosmog and Cosmoem, but I thought that Cosmog's overall like space aesthetic, because it's associated with the cosmos, matched like the design of the Xenogender flag. So that's why I went with it. And the Xenogender has so many different. Xenogender is like an umbrella term for all like gender identities that people resonate with, like cat gender and moon gender. So that opens up a whole can of worms for different pride flag teams. This series may be never ending. So into my Slowking there, I'll explain that Cosmog in the next battle, but this Slowking was meant to take on the Fluttermane. I'm running a specially defensive one with Terra Normal, but unfortunately they swapped out into Articuno. So I do get a Paralyze on it, so I was like, well, I don't really have much. I have a Future Sight and Chilly Reception, so I thought, okay, well, I might as well just try to Chilly out versus this Articuno into my special Zekrom. They hit me with the sheer cold. Oh no! I love one-hit KO move. They're so fair. So, oh my goodness, that was extremely costly because that was my my Flutter main answer, and now I have my Zekrom here. And Zekrom is not going to be able to outspeed Flutter main at all, so I'm hoping that I could, at the very least, live a fairy move from that, because it did use its Stellar Terra Dazzling Gleam, but the Sheer Cold thankfully misses versus my Zekrom. I was like, I would not be happy if I got hit with 2 back-to-back one-hit KO moves, because it's like a 30% chance. So there goes the Articuno, and the last Pokemon is the Flutter main. This is why I regretted sacrificing my Chanpao earlier for the sake of chip damage on the Kyogre, because I get taken out there. Oh my goodness, that Sheer Cold really messed me up, but also me sacrificing my Chanpao and everything was just costly. I can't believe I got hit with the Oko move. So into this next battle. Now, this battle was also really, really interesting. So I'm going to lead things off with my Chanpao here, my Choice Scarf Chanpao. Now, I'm running a Terra Blast Fire on this. I'm going to take it out with the Sacred Sword. I get another critical hit. Now, that one didn't matter, but that's the 3rd critical hit that Chanpao gets, so just keep that in mind. Now, I have Icicle Crash, Crunch, Sacred Sword, and Terra Blast Fire on this, so I thought that that would be really good versus the Scizor. Now, the Scizor is going to go for the U-turn. Oh my goodness, I lived the Cosmog. I'm running a max defense Cosmog on this, and I'm going to eat the Jaboca Berry. So the Jaboca Berry is an interesting item that it deals 1/8 of the opponent's health if you get hit by a physical move, and this includes like non-contact moves like Earthquake and everything. So I thought it was like a niche item. I mean, I don't know what else Cosmog could do. It's a Cosmog. It gets literally 2 moves. So into this Lycanroc, it's gonna revenge KO me, and I'm gonna bring out my Valiant. Now, I was scared of this. I was scared of that potentially having like Play Rough or like Psychic Fangs, but they're gonna swap out into the Scizor on my Moonblast. I'm running a Life Orb Iron Valiant on this set. Now, I was really terrified of that Lycanroc Dust because of its priority, and it just hits really hard. So I'm gonna swap in my my Zekrom. I'm anticipating a Bullet Punch to want to come out from the Scizor, and that's exactly what happens. Now, this is a Eject Pack Zekrom. It's a special set. I wanted to use a special one instead of a physical one. So this has a Volt Switch. I have a Thunderbolt, Draco Meteor with the Eject Pack, and I have Earth Power on that set. Now I'm gonna swap in my Drizzile here. I want to get as much damage on this Rotom Heat as I possibly can, because it's a pretty big nuisance. I could always switch in on my Iron Valiant on my Fairy moves, and I never really want to risk a Focus Blast just because it's a low accuracy move. I don't want to rely on hitting that. And I knew that the Lycanroc Dusk in the back had a Focus Sash. So in comes Gyarados. It does not have Intimidate, so I'm like, I am not giving this a free Moxie boost. So I went hard out into my Chanpao, expecting them to either want to Waterfall me or just set up Dragon Dances, which they do. Now, I am Choice Scarf, so I'm going to be able to outspeed this Gyarados after a +1 speed boost. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get as much damage as I possibly can with this Crunch. I get another critical hit on the... What the heck is this Chanpao? This Chanpao is cracked, and I'm going to be able to take out the Gyarados in one hit. That was a heinous KO. Now, I'm going to Terrasilize into a Fire type in front of the Scizor. I am Choice Scarf, so I am locked into Crunch. And I noticed that, the Scizor really wasn't doing a lot of damage. So, going for that Crunch, the Scizor lives, and they have a Rocky Helmet. So, I was like, okay, that explains why they weren't doing so much damage before with the Bullet Punch against my Zekrom and my Cosmog living the U-turn. Because their Rocky Helmet, I imagine that they're running like a defog like Scizor. So, the Lycanroc is going to come back in. Now that I'm terrified, I mean, I was always threatened by the thing anyway, but I'm going to definitely get taken out by an Accelerock from this thing. So, they actually opt to go for the Stealth Rock that turn. I was like, oh, dang, I could have... That's actually a really good play on their part. So, I was honestly opting to sacrifice my Drizzile, but they ended up getting rocks out of it as well. So, now I have to deal with the rocks, and now my Chanpao is really not going to like that. So, bringing back out my Iron Valiant here, I thought, okay, well, I'm still going to go for the Moonblast. I don't want to risk a Focus Blast in case they do decide to stay in. So they're going to bring back out their Rotom Heat. And I do have Vacuum Wave on this set, but like I wasn't sure if this Rotom was running like Choice Scarf or anything. So I opt to just swap out there because I don't want to really lose my Iron Valiant. It's really, really important versus the Lycanroc in the back. So bringing back out my Zekrom, I knew that this Pokemon really couldn't threaten me if they had like Overheat or if they had like, the electric move that it typically runs. But it's going to go for the Trick versus me. I was like, okay. It's probably going to trick me a Choice Scarf or a Choice Specs or something, and they tricked me a Choice Spec, so I was like, oh, I don't mind that. I'm actually a special Zekrom, so I can live with that. So this turn, I went for the Choice Specs Thunderbolt. I just barely missed the KO. Now, the way that I thought was, like, I completely forgot that Zekrom's ability ignores other Pokemon's abilities, so that's why I didn't go for the Earth Power. In hindsight, I absolutely should have went for Earth Power because I just forgot about this Pokemon's ability. Like, there was a lot of times where I was facing off versus Terapagos, and, Terapagos has that ability, Terra Shell, where it could like resist any hit when it's on full health. But with Zekrom, it could hit through its Terra Shell ability, and I could be able to take it out. So it always caught me by surprise, and I just forget that Zekrom's ability like ignores other abilities. So they're gonna bring in their Lightning Rock and Revenge KO me with the Accelerock. Not sure if the critical hit mattered, but I was gonna get taken down by this thing anyway. I mean, if it did matter, that's unfortunate because I imagine that this Lightning Rock is 100% Focus Sash, right? So bringing back out my Iron Valiant here, I thought, well, I'm gonna go for the Vacuum Wave. I should have went for I anticipated that they would want to sacrifice their Scizor anyway because their Scizor is on a very low amount of health, and I knew that they were trying to rely on one Pokemon in the back to win, and that's the Kingdra here. So I have my specially defensive Slowking in the back, which I thought matched the Trigender flag really well because obviously it has pink and purple on it, but as far as the green goes, it actually has a green gem on its crown, so I thought it was a really good fit for the Trigender flag. And there really isn't many Pokemon with that color scheme of like pink, purple, and then the drastic like green color, right? Except for this one. Because I looked through the Pokedex multiple times whenever I try to designate a Pokemon for a specific Pride flag. So the Kingdra is gonna set up the rain, and it's gonna be Terra Steel. I was like, wow, I could have Moonblasted this thing, but like I was scared of like I was scared of getting like potentially like outsped by this, or just getting taken out, or like them terrestrializing in front of my Iron Valiant. So I'm gonna go for the Thunder Wave on them. That Scald doesn't really do too much to me, even under the rain, just because I'm fully specially defensive. But they have a Lumberry, so I was like, okay, well, this turn, I shouldn't be able to fear anything, because I do live a Skull very comfortably, bar them getting a crit. So they're going to go for the Hurricane. They're going to try to confuse me, but thankfully I do get my Chilly Reception. I do get my bad joke off, and on this set, I'm running a Future Sight, Chilly Reception, Thunder Wave, and Slack Off on this for recovery. And obviously with Regenerated, this Pokemon is just such a good pivot. So bringing back in my Chanpao. Now, I revealed Sacred Sword earlier, but I never revealed Terra Blast Fire because Kingdra does have a chance of living a Sacred Sword, which is probably what they imagined, but I'm running Terra Blast Fire on this, which is really interesting, and that is going to be enough to take out the Kingdra easily. So I was like, okay, that's really good. The last Pokemon is going to be that Lycanroc, and you know, if they take me out with the Accelerock, I should be able to like handle it with the combination of my Slowking and my Iron Valiant, but they opt to not go for that, and I'm going to be able to Terra Blast Fire them, just get some good chip damage off, and break their Focus Sash most importantly. They're going to take me out with the Drill Run. I imagine they went for the Drill Run anticipating my Iron Valiant to want to swap out, or maybe my Slowking potentially. So there goes my Chanpao, but that Pokemon got so many crits, by the way, throughout this entire video. So I'm just going to go into my Iron Valiant here. I'm running Terra Fairy Moonblast on this, so I'm going to take it out with the Moonblast, and that's the end of both games. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for the continued support on the Pride Flag Team series. I really appreciate it because I love doing this series so much. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.